Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to tell a personal story if we have a moment. I was reading a recent study, recently. It's true. Where young gay people, their biggest worry is that they don't know what kind of gay they will become. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And they're very uncertain, because they see us, I guess, as like action figures, like collect all 6. 3 of them are bitchy, but they're different kinds of bitchy. And that's how they get you. And they're worried about it. And I was reading this article feeling terrible for gay children, as I often do. Not terrible enough to help them. Because I'm just like, learn your lessons well. I'll deal with that damage later when we're dating. I'm investing early. When I see a child getting pranked or something on the playground, I'm like, no, I bet that sucks. Want to talk about it in a couple of years? I heard rape fan and I just went with it. No. Please. I'm not like that about gay kids. I love them from afar, very far away. But they're worried about what kind of gays they will become. And I was reading this being like, don't worry about it. Because it's like getting the letter from Hogwarts. It'll just blossom within you on its own. Like the first time I saw a gay person and I said, oh, I want to be that. I had a 5th grade teacher named Mr. Germack, who, my God in heaven. He stood like this, constantly, counting imaginary money. And he always had like 3 or 4-piece suits on. 4th piece, I don't know where it was, but I know it was there. And he had this glorious toupee. Glorious. Where you knew, there was no doubt that it was a toupee, but it was just so beautifully coiffed. And just sitting atop his head, having no relation to the body underneath it. That it looked like a magical, like a small child, a fairy child, a hairy fairy child, had crawled on his head and decided to have a slumber there, and would not be awakened by anyone. And he was glorious. I mean, and he spoke, hello, students. And he would have temper tantrums, middle class. He'd be like, I don't understand why no one read the Steinbeck! We're like, we're in 5th grade. Learning's not going to wait for you. And I saw that. I got a whiff of that Drakkar Noir, and I was like, wherever you're going, take me with you. He would garden, this is the truth, he would garden in the biggest hat I've ever seen on a person, let alone a man. Like just a tent that he wore on the top of his head. And he would garden, he had the most beautiful lavender gardening gloves. And I would ride my bicycle past his house being like, hi, Mr. Germack, and he'd be like, hello, child! I'd be 5 blocks away, but he just liked how the lavender gloves looked. And I was like, yes, I'm ready, whatever. And then I came to New York, and now I will admit to you, I was in the closet for a couple of years. It was a glass closet. I always got shit about it from everybody. I was literally sleeping with women who were like, are you into this? Are you? Because it's fine if you're not. We could go get Dairy Queen and forget it ever happened. like, no, I love you. Which is the straightest gesture I'll make all night. And when I came to New York, the first person I talked to in New York, they were like, oh, so you're a fag, right? I was like, no. And then I spent years kind of trying to figure it out, because I hated that thing where when you're gay as a child and you have no power over it. Like, I never found a boy attractive. I was never like, oh, let's hang out with him. That spitting booger machine to my left. I was always kind of hanging around with girls and being like, you can call me Cynthia. You know? I wanted nothing to do. And then when boys go through puberty, sign me up, fuck that. Even then I was like, you really need to do something about your skin. No, so I wasn't into it. And then I came to New York, and the whole gay community shamed me out of the closet. They were like, come on! Come on! It was not like, we're waiting here with you with Malamars and then a finger to put down your throat so you'll remember never to eat them again. No, it was never that. It was really like shaming. It was like, seriously. So if I put a dick in your mouth right now, you wouldn't do anything with it? No, I wouldn't. I would. You know, like, it was just a continual shaming. And I felt bad because I thought, how do they know this intimate thing about me without me telling them? I thought it was an invasion of my privacy. I was very sensitive at 19, and I was just like, you know what? Maybe I like other things. I'll be in my room in a silken robe listening to Maria Callas. And having a brilliant private world to which you are not invited. And for many years, I was that kind of gay. And then, and this is really, and I credit two people with this whole experiment of standing in front of you. And one was Elaine Stritch. I saw Elaine Stritch and I was like, that's the kind of gay I want to be. That's why I never wear pants anymore. In total homage to Elaine Stritch. And the second was Kiki and Herb. And I bring up Kiki and Herb because, you know, they're coming back to Joe's. But I have to tell, so like, I tell you this to pass on the information, because I know many of you did not get tickets, because they were very expensive and they literally broke the internet. But when I was like 20 years old, I would come to Joe's Pub and sit at that bar in the back. It was over here, but it was still the same top. Because I remember, because I never passed money over it. I work here now for free because for decades I robbed them on the 2-drink minimum. I was always like, I think you already brought me the second Coke. Because you're a really fast drinker. But I was always on the first. That won't work tonight. Tip your waiters handsomely. But, you know, I would sit in the back and Kiki and Herb would play weekends, right? And you would do a Friday, a Saturday, early and late night show, and then a Sunday late show. And I would save my little shekels, and I would buy tickets to every single night of Kiki and Herb. And I would stand in the back, and I would watch Justin Bond and Kenny Melman fucking change the world. It was unbelievable. And I say this to you, it really, as a gay person, because honestly, it was shaming me out of the closet for a decade. Not a decade, a couple months. But it felt like a decade, because I got a lot of shit for it. And then when I was gay, nobody was pleased about that either. They were like, oh, another one. It's the truth. It was the truth. I went to NYU, which is really just a gay garden. You can go there in any day and pick fresh produce right out. Oh, produce. But Kiki and Herb, seeing them, I was like, oh, that's it. That's it. I want to be aggressively gay. I want to shout what it means to me and everybody else. I want to be able to have real emotions, even if I have lines on my face. And I want to be amongst people that get it. Whatever it is. It doesn't have to be gay. It doesn't have to be lesbian or transgender or anything. I just want to be amongst a community of people that's in on the joke. And for me, that was Kiki Herb. And I say that to you because I think it's time, not it's time, but like, let's just make sure we put that in the right hands. If you see some gay child struggling somewhere, as I often do, I know, I've gone back to the loop in which I said I wasn't investing in younger children, and now I'm saying invest in younger children. Hear me out. If you see some kid and you're like, you know what? Hey, I see you're having a tough time at school. Here's fucking Kiki and Herb, baby. Listen to it. You won't get it, but it'll be fun that you know it at parties 30 years from now. Believe me. Because I think more so than kind of how we express ourselves to one another isn't always great. If you can say 3 nice things about any gay person you know right now, I'll buy you a drink. Because you always get to the second one and you're like, but she is selfish. Does thin count? But I think the ways we express ourselves to each other through art and the ways we allow other people to express themselves through art really can help everybody get in on the joke. So I'll be giving Kiki and Herb albums out at PS 122 next weekend. You all can come to me. We'll just see the boys that have collapsible arms in the 7th grade. If you're standing at lunch like this, which is still how I stand every day at Chipotle. I know guacamole is extra, thank you. Pass them a little knowledge, pass them a little brilliance that allows them to know that you don't have to be a particular kind of gay. You can be any kind of gay you want, because we'll all be there for you, in on the joke.